Hi, seniors. Mr. Chakos here with another Life After Hersey senior session. This session is on mental health challenges in college, and we've talked in some of the other sessions about the academic differences and how time management is so key. And we've hinted at a lot of these changes as we transition from high school to college can be stressful and bring about a bunch of different types of reactions. It can lead to mental health challenges too, right? A big change in environment can cause some of us to act differently. So we're going to take a look at some of those things that could happen, some statistics to be aware of, and most importantly, how you can access different resources and some things that you can do to make sure that you are mentally healthy on campus. All right, so here we go. As we've alluded to in other sessions, just really quickly to go over, that college is different in a lot of ways. The class schedule is different. Once again, you may have been told the last 12, 13 years of school, what time to start, what time to end, when you can eat lunch, when you can go to the bathroom, who your teachers are going to be, what classes you're going to take, all that kind of stuff. And in college, it's a lot different, right? You can pick your schedule, you can choose your professor sometimes. Although the testing and grading policies could be a lot different. Again, just the environment, you may be still living at home or you may be going away to college, but having to choose, when you're going to eat and where you're going to eat and what you're going to eat, a lot of those things are going to be very different. So your schedule and those personal freedoms could be, again, it's going to be different no matter what. And those life changes can be very exciting, right? It can be exciting to finally be more on your own and doing what you want to do and not having someone maybe tell you every step of what's going to happen each day. But those changes can also be overwhelming at times because you're used to a certain way of going about your day, and now you are more in control. So some things to think about. All those changes in this time of your life, being 18 years old to your early 20s, mid 20s, and being in college and having this change of environment can cause a lot of stress. And so you can see some of the statistics here. According to one survey or study, 20% of college students say they feel stressed most of the time. It could probably be even higher than that. 80% say that they feel stressed sometimes or often. Again, it could be close to 100 even, depending on who you ask. But it can get even more serious. 34% feeling depressed at one point in the last 90 days, going on to having diagnosed mental conditions, or even thoughts of suicide. And so suicidal thoughts, anxiety, those kind of things can be obviously very concerning, right? And we want to make sure that when you go off to college, you are aware of when things aren't going the way they should be going and how to handle those things. So there are normal behaviors, right? Normal feelings. It's a complex time. Like I said, everything is changing. You're finding new peers. You might have been going to school for the last, again, 12, 13 more years with the same people. Now you're going to school with no one you know. So fitting in is a challenge. Defining your identity. You may have been the athlete or the speech person or this or that. And now who are you on this campus? There could be other pressures to date and form romantic relationships. There's just lots of levels of stress for a variety of reasons. Where's my class? Where do I go to do this? How do I do that? From a lot of different ways. I'm going to pay for school. So there's a lot of these demands too. And especially if you're living at home still and commuting, there could be competing demands. Your family and your siblings and your friends might not see it as such a big change for you, but you are taking harder classes and you're on a different schedule all of a sudden. So it can be hard for people to see you completely in a different way, even though everything, like we've mentioned, has been changing. So the bottom line is, it's normal if you display some kind of separation anxiety. You're worried about going away from home, an occasional moodiness, imposter syndrome, like I don't belong on this school, but you do because you got in there and you're going. Anxiety and occasionally engaging in procrastination or some other less ideal behaviors. Those things are normal to have those occasionally. But again, something is really not right if you're experiencing some of these symptoms. more pervasively or chronically. It's all the time. 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row, you're moody and you are stressed and you are not eating or you're not taking care of yourself. You're having these mood swings all the time, or you're very depressed. You don't want to go out of your room, your dorm room. You don't want to go to class. You're having panic attacks, thinking about what's next. You're withdrawing and going into isolation. You're not leaving the dorm. You don't want to leave your dorm room or your house to go to class. You're not communicating with people anymore. And if any parents are watching this, set up an agreement of how and when you're going to communicate. And if you're not noticing that anyone's sticking to that, there could be an issue, right? Of course, increased use in substances. To self-medicate yourself is not the healthy way to take care of these issues. You're not taking care of yourself. You're not showering. You're not washing your clothes. You're just, kind of sitting around. You just can't concentrate. And more severely, you're getting in trouble with the law. So when those things are happening, it's definitely something is not right. So there are some effective treatments. It could be to go to therapy, whether it's at the school you're at and looking towards the resources in counseling that your school has. And all colleges, whether it's community college or a four-year school, are going to have some sort of counseling that you can access. If you are somebody who takes medication already for whatever reason, hopefully you are managing that on your own now and you are taking that correctly, but that will come through a doctor, an actual licensed doctor, and you're not self-medicating yourself. Could be eating better, taking more vitamins, exercising. If you don't have PE anymore, are you going to the gym and working out? Are you doing some kind of yoga, meditation, prayer, something for your spiritual side, and then just overall self-care. So there's no one size fits all perfect fix, right? You might, depending on you and what works for you, it could be a combination of those things. It could depend how severe things are, and what just again what works for you. Hopefully, if your family is on board, they're going to support you and help you out, and find someone that will help you follow through. So if it's a roommate or a parent, I really need to exercise and do this, have somebody check in on you or have a buddy system maybe to kind of do things together. Very, very important, I can't stress enough, is that wherever you go to school, there are going to be resources. There's either going to be physical places that you can go to, or there's going to be people that you can turn to. Even if you feel like, I don't know anyone here, I don't know what to do, either go to a place or go to a person. So like I said before, counseling services, go to that office and figure out, how do I talk to somebody? How do I see a therapist? If you have physical or learning disabilities, go to the Office of Students with Disabilities. And if you're watching this, in May or before your freshman year of college, you're still in high school, senior year, go now, get that set up now. What do I need to do going forward? And they can help you with your accommodations. Unlike in high school, where your IEP or 504 plan is mandated to be put in place by law and your teachers have to follow it, in college, you have to go to the office and they will help you go to your professors and say, this is what I need. How do I help me get this, whatever I need, whether it's extended time or whatever the case may be. But it's on you now, the student, to go do those things. It's not going to be automatically given to you. If you're having physical health problems, there's usually a health services or clinic. If we talked about exercise or nutrition, go to campus recreation and find ways to get involved. Both helps you physically and socially if there's intramurals or clubs, things like that. If you're stressed about finances, go to the financial aid office. Are there any other scholarships or grants or things I can apply for? If that spiritual part of you, where we talked about yoga or meditation or prayer, if you feel is suffering, many colleges have a department or office of religion or campus ministry, especially if it's a private faith-based school. And they definitely will, even if it's maybe not your religion, they might be able to connect you with somebody and help you in that case. And then many colleges have either a general office of multicultural student office, or really specific offices or people in different populations, first gen, multicultural, LGBTQ plus, etc. Besides those offices, there are specific people. Many of you have been in contact with your school's admissions rep throughout the process. If you can't find anyone else, go to that person and they can connect you with somebody on campus. Your academic advisor is going to be somebody you go to for classes, and that's a big help, but they probably also can connect you to any other services you might need. If you're living on campus, your resident advisor is a peer, another student who's a year or two older than you, and that's their job, is to help make sure you are doing okay, and everything's going fine. So if you're having roommate problems or whatever the case may be, that's what they're there for. So go talk to that person. If you're like, I don't know if I want to talk to like an adult yet or whatever, but they're a peer you can turn to. Of course, your professors are there to help. Go to their office hours. The dean of students, that's kind of like their job to help make sure all the students are doing what they're supposed to do. Many colleges have peer mentor programs, so whether it's mandatory or optional, I would highly recommend opting in. A lot of those programs have, again, an upperclassman who will meet with you, eat lunch with you or dinner with you, and kind of show you around. It's a great way to meet somebody who knows kind of the ropes. And it's always suggested to get involved. Many colleges tout their hundreds of different clubs and activities. Find one that is of your interest, and with that, you will find both students for sure who you might connect with, and even possibly the adult who is the club sponsor is someone you can turn to, who might understand you because they understand kind of the interest that brought you to this group. You are paying for all these places, these people, these services, so take advantage of them with your money, your tuition money. So to kind of wrap up here, what are some things you can do to help make this transition? Number one, take control of your education. Get to know your professors, get involved, meet other people, do these things yourself, and you'll find that you're making a lot of connections and you're feeling more engaged and connected to the school. And you'll find other people who are maybe having a tough time transitioning too, and you can kind of just commiserate together and become friends, and you're going to feel like it's a smoother transition. Be assertive and be a self-advocate. So find those people or places that that are going to help you, and go seek them out. Again, it's not like high school where there's going to be your counselor is going to call you down to their office, or the professor is going to call home, the teacher's going to call home if you're absent. You have to be assertive and go seek the help that you want. And so you can even start, like I said, from now, contacting some of these offices and making sure that it's going to be a smooth transition when you get there in the fall. Take advantage of those resources, tutoring, the library, health, fitness, all that kind of stuff. You're paying for them, so go use them. Plan ahead through organization. You can watch the organization and time management session that I have recorded as well, but make sure you plan out your schedule so that you have time in your schedule for class, for work, for hygiene, for eating, for sleeping. Those important things that maybe were more planned for you in high school can get really out of whack in college. So plan those things, get organized, and set your goals. What are your goals for the semester, for the year, and long term? And usually when you have goals, whether you have them written down or posted on your mirror or somewhere, that keeps you focused on the big picture, and then can help you stay motivated and positive each day. Again, take care of yourself, right? All those things I've mentioned, and have that balance in your life. There are definitely lots of resources out there, including a really great website called collegementalhealthhelp.com. And you can find the links and the slides in the description of the video below. But really quickly, we're going to look at this collegementalhealth.com website. All right, I would highly recommend you bookmark this website and come back to it whenever you think you need some help. Again, the link will be down below in the description of this video. But you can see for students, for parents, FAQs, especially different different student populations, tips on self-care. You can find a lot of great information on this website: how to improve your sleep, why sleep is important, nutrition, tips about your meal plans. Again, I know I honestly commuted when I was a student, but I always thought if I ever lived at school, I would probably just get pizza every day, and that'd be really bad because I love pizza. So make sure you are eating balanced meals, and not just whatever looks the tastiest at home. So, or in the cafeteria. So there's self-care videos. There's places you can go if you are in crisis. There's a lot of really, really great resources on this website. So it's good to have it handy, to have it bookmarked. That way, if you find yourself in need, it's one place to go, along with all of the other resources that your college provides, I'm sure on their own websites, in the residence halls and other places as well. So hopefully this gave you some good tips on some things to be aware of, some warning signs, to know that it's okay to feel stressed and a little anxious about this pretty big life change that you're about to go through. But when you start to find that it's really inhibiting your actions, your behavior, it's changing and it won't go away, then it's really time to seek help. And I hope you realize that there are a lot of places on your campus that you can find help. So if you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to reach out to Student Services here at Hersey. Otherwise, take a look at the resources in the description below. Thanks.